What have you noticed over the last 13 years that maybe there's a struggling PNC office out there? Maybe there's a new PNC agent out there that's like, dude, what do I need to do to be Dan Kitajima in 13 years? What would you say?
It just started, first year 100 policies a month, and then now, just a couple months ago, we hit our highest, which is 600 policies
Boom!
in 1 month. Yeah, as much as I'm proud of what we've done, I feel like I don't even want to hear it that I'm doing a great job. Like I don't, please don't say that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I feel like I feel like although I'm proud, I feel like I'm definitely not satisfied.
Mm. Successful people that are doing big stuff, man. They're never satisfied. They know they can always do more, and they're committed to the game. It's a process. For you, you're enjoying the journey. You're enjoying the ride. Um, Man, that's awesome. Hey, I'm excited to interview Mr. Dan Kitajima, owner of a farmers insurance agency in Orange County, California. Dude, you're doing some mega big stuff. Have you always been that way, or have you just gotten better over time?
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Cody. It's a real honor to be here, because talking about big stuff, I mean, I'm humbled to just be talking to you. And we talked about it earlier that I should be the one asking you the questions, but
Thanks.
we'll get that on our my YouTube channel, hopefully. Um, you did agree on.
Yeah,
But no,
totally.
yeah, it's been really something that just gradually over time, took place. It wasn't anything that just 1 year after another it just had a huge jump. It's just been
Yeah.
very steadily, but I think the business that we're in does take some time and with some patience. But if you're consistent and you're putting the right activity each and every day, over 13 years, something starts to happen. So
Boom.
I would say over the last several years, we've hit some things that has started really working for us, but it has been a steady increase when it comes to production.
That's awesome, dude. 13 years. They always say long obedience in the same direction, and you're literally a spitting image of that. I mean, you're successful, super successful. One of the larger PNC agencies that I know in the country, doing some big stuff. Right. It took 13 years. You got amazing staff. I've loved watching some of the videos, the behind the scenes of some of the sales meetings and stuff. I enjoy that kind of stuff. Um, what have you noticed over the last 13 years that maybe there's a struggling PNC office out there? Maybe there's a new PNC agent out there that's like, dude, what do I need to do to be Dan Kitajima in 13 years? What would you say?
Wow. I think first thing first is will be the marketing. How are you marketing? Because when I first started doing insurance, we want to market to not only to today's world, but also we want to market thinking about what's going to work in 5 years too.
Yes.
So I think the marketing strategies, if it's a little outdated, what has worked before
Mm,
was great, but what's going to work now and what's going to work in 5 years. Want to always think a little bit ahead, a step ahead.
yeah.
So some of the things I was doing earlier on, I was thinking, hey, trying to see some trends of what's going to work, and try
Yes.
to when you see the trends, you can see some trends that may not work. Like for example, I'm not sure if people like being called these days, you know,
I'm with
but
you.
people people do like to be on their phones and be entertained,
Yes.
so I would say, hey, like how are we marketing? I think that's number one thing I would be thinking about as agency
Yeah,
owners. I almost feel like that's our job, is like we're almost like a marketing company now, not
for sure.
and how to just be marketing and be present and be transparent. And I think those are some of the things that I feel is gonna convert these days.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say, yeah, I would start off with marketing probably.
I love it, man. Dude, in today's world, you are cutting edge, right? You're branding, you're marketing, you've got a staff. You realize it takes a team. You're probably spending, obviously tens of thousands of dollars a month, if not 100 grand a month. And you get the modern day business world, without giving away all your secrets, because they gotta go to your website and actually pay for some time with you, and they should, by the way, if they're in your space. What's some type of marketing technique that isn't crazy revolutionary, but it's something that's working well for you that you're okay sharing?
Yo, yeah, well, Facebook, and Instagram. Really, I would just that's really the answer, really. And I don't. I feel like making videos. being transparent, getting them to know you. I think that's a big
Yeah.
part of the business. You have to be known, and I think just by doing a little bit of research on you, and I'm gonna do a lot more on you. I mean, I don't think there's anyone else that is doing it at your level. So that's why I'm just so honored to be talking to you with you. I feel like we're on the same page when it comes to just, hey, let's just put ourselves out there. We have nothing to hide. We're just insurance agents. We're not. We're just here to help people. There's nothing
Exactly.
to be. We're professional and friendly, and just you know. Nothing to hide, and just putting ourselves out there. It did, as an introvert, was a little bit harder for me to get across that point of being comfortable enough. But I think it's necessary these days is to
Yeah.
just film ourselves, take picture, make content, and just really put ourselves out there so people could know us and then do business with us.
Yeah, yeah. Rich Cavaniss in Dallas had me reach out to you and start following you, and I instantly went to Instagram, like you're talking about Facebook, Instagram marketing. I instantly went to Instagram, followed you. You're always showing some fresh kicks. I'm a shoe fan, you know.
Oh yeah.
I'm an ex basketball college basketball guy, so
Oh yeah.
I'm always watching your stories. I'm like, that's awesome. I love that. Congrats to your Lakers. I'm assuming you're maybe a Lakers fan out there in Orange County, but
No, I'm actually a Clipper fan, which is
okay,
kind of
all right.
weird. I root
Yeah,
for
I
the
like that.
underdog. But you're out in Dallas, right, Cody?
Actually, in Springfield, Missouri, I'm in Dallas so much
Oh, really? Okay.
that in the
Oh,
conference,
that's
everything
that's where
else.
your conference was. Yeah.
Yes, everybody literally thinks I live there. And I told my wife the other day, if I go to Dallas one more time, I'm gonna just buy a second home in Dallas. I've been there. I've been there like 3 or 4 times in the last month and a half. It's crazy. So as far as the last 13 years, what kind of growth have you had? How many policies have you sold? What kind of numbers are you doing now? I'd love for those to really, I'd love for your numbers to speak for themselves from a credibility standpoint.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, as a farmer's insurance agent, there's a lot of different ways to get started in this great opportunity that farmers agents have. But I started off in a system where we just started off day one, you're agency owner, and you just write a policy that's yours. So there's nothing like really given to you, or you're not buying any policies for anything. So
Okay.
just organically growing every month. But yeah, again, it's just nothing where one day we just bought a bigger business. It just started, first year 100 policies a month, and then now just a couple months ago we hit our highest, which is 600 policies
Boom.
in 1 month. Yeah, they call it units, so I'm not sure, different ways to calculate it, but if it's like a 3-car household and it counts as 3 units,
Wow.
so 600 units, 601. So we have 10,000 policies in force, and yeah, close to 10,000, 9,900. So I don't want to, exaggerate.
Honest man, close
Yeah,
enough.
yeah. So, uh, yeah, but honestly, Cody, I feel like I'm just getting started. I feel like sometimes, we got the Personalized Agent of the Year award from Farmers Insurance, which is a huge accomplishment for our agency. I'm so proud of my team, but
Wow,
people will say, hey, we're doing great things. And I guess the numbers are great, but I just feel like the potential is
dude.
just we're just really just beginning to just start to seeing the potential, like what I feel like we should be doing. Because I mean, I'm not sure with your experience, but I'm sure independent agents, there's some monster agencies out there. I just feel
Yeah.
like I never want to be thinking that I'm doing a great job, because
Mm,
frankly, like, there's just so much potential in this business that it's almost like disrespectful to the business or to the company if you're not taking
yeah,
advantage of it.
that's good.
So as much as I'm proud of what we've done, I feel like I don't even want to hear it that I'm doing a great job. Like, I don't, please don't say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like although I'm proud, I feel like I'm definitely not satisfied.
Mm. Successful people that are doing big stuff, man. They're never satisfied. They know they can always do more, and they're committed to the game. It's a process. For you, you're enjoying the journey. You're enjoying the ride. Man, that's awesome. If you
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you had to describe yourself for those that don't know you in a single word, it's tough. What would you say?
Oh man. Just only give me one word, huh?
One word. One word.
Yeah. Um, it depends on the day, but I think right now it may be consistent.
Mm.
I just feel like you just touched on it, Cody. It's like I just love the journey so much that I don't feel like, hey, once I get to a destination, I'm gonna take a break. Or I'm not always like looking forward to a break, even though they are necessary. And I do take maybe a vacation a year, but
Yeah.
um, I just enjoy working so much that I don't feel it is work. So it's easy for me to stay consistent. And I think that is from what I see other agency owners. I think that could be one of the difference makers
Mm.
because I'm always thinking of the next thing. I'm always working. I'm always trying to motivate my staff. I'm just always doing something, and I feel like that's maybe a blessing that I've had. That I just want like to be busy, and
Yes.
that helps me stay consistent.
That's awesome, dude. What a great word to choose. When 92% of insurance agents are failing in their first 3 years, and you're coming out and you're picking your word consistent. That's what a lot of agents struggle with, man. They're not consistent on a daily basis. I always say step number one is to show up, right? And you show up every single day. I notice that about you. I see it about you. I respect that about you. And I love it, man. I love that.
Thank
If
you, Cody.
if you had to look back over the last 13 years and you had to think of one aha moment that really maybe shifted things for you, right? Got your attention, made you change something, and it really started to propel you on the path to success. If you had to look back, it was probably several, I'm sure, right? Because for me, I've had a revelation many times in our business about how to change something up. If you had to pick one thing that could benefit somebody that's watching, that was really more of an aha moment for you, what would it be?
Wow, man, these questions are great, Cody.
Thanks, man.
You got to step on my game when I interview you. Uh, I might just ask the same questions honestly because
There we go.
these are great ones, and I love the passion you have for trying to bring value to your audience.
Thank you.
Uh, th- these moments are so important in our careers, and there's so much to talk about. But with the time that we have to focus on what has really pivoted our agency, man, I just have so many that I could think of right now. Um,
Mm,
Man, I think one of them was when I was new. I think part of being ambitious. The problem could be that you get overly ambitious and you start getting a little frustrated that
mm,
things aren't happening as well. Especially in the PNC world, it just takes some time to build it up. And I could sense that with my ambition was as high as it was, I was getting frustrated at myself. I wasn't as nice to my employees. I wasn't as nice to maybe even my clients almost. So one of the aha moments was like, hey, I have time,
mm.
and so having a sense of gratitude, more sense of gratitude and patience, really. When once I had that patience kick in, I was like, hey, I'm doing a good job. Give myself a little bit of credit. Don't beat myself up. Everything's gonna happen. Just a matter of time. That's when I became a lot better as a leader, especially to my employees. Even being patient with them too. So for me, it was patience. Another aha moment I just thought about right now is when I found a lead source that really worked and I was spending money on it.
Mm.
For some reason, I just thought like I shouldn't spend more than X amount of dollars on it. Like I just didn't think like, but it was a aha moment was like, well, why not? Like I want to scale my business. I need more leads. Just blow up the marketing budget.
There we go.
So that was an aha moment where I don't know why. Like it was like a imaginary cap I had on myself where like, oh, I shouldn't spend this much any more than this on marketing. I was like, that was a aha moment. Was like, well, let's just blow this place up and just spend more money because once you have more leads, a lot of the problems are solved.
Yes, yes. Now you're speaking my language, man. I love that, dude. That's strong. Those are great, great feedback for the audience. I have time, overly ambitious. I struggle with that too. You mentioned you're with a team and staff and stuff. Along the way, I being overly ambitious as well and being a lot alike. We seem to be on a similar. How old are you?
I just turned 40 this year.
40. Okay, good. Well, dude, you don't even look 40. I just turned 30 this year, so we're similar age, in a way, and I feel like we've had similar paths because I've been in this industry about a decade, and I've been overly ambitious, hard on my staff, didn't treat people the way I should along the way. And I feel like you start to grow and mature, and you start to become more of a business owner. Because in this business, I feel like I want to see if you agree. I really feel like initially you're a great salesperson, right? Then you want to be a great sales manager, then you want to morph into being a great CEO and business owner. And I feel like, I was a great salesperson. I made 120 grand when I was 20, great
Nice.
sales manager, learned over time how to be one. and now trying to be a CEO and business owner. And you seem like you've moved in to more of that role as well.
Yeah, yeah, the roles will always change, but um, I call it being patiently in a rush. Like I'm always in a rush, like doing something, but in the big picture, I'm being patient. But in the small picture, I'm just in a rush. Like I gotta get stuff done. I gotta get stuff done. But I'm still looking at it, taking a step back and looking at it from a macro view. But yeah, if you being only 30, man, the sky's the limit. I mean, you're
Dude,
just
thank
getting
you, bro.
started,
Thank you
dude.
very
I
much.
mean, that's I'm really looking forward to just just connecting with you and just keep
Dude,
in touch and seeing what great things you're gonna accomplish because man, to be where you are at 30, I
thank
mean at 30 I was 3 years in and I was just mad every single day that I wasn't having $1 million book of business. I was
you. Yeah,
it's just the mindset was so different. But I hope that could help some people where hey, if you're working hard every day, even though it's gonna be not easy and it shouldn't be, it does pay off.
for sure. It always does, man. I mean, those that survive and make it and really they end up thriving. They really do. You said being patiently in a rush made me think of the country song. Um, I'm in a hurry to get things done. Yeah, I don't know. It's lyrics always come to my mind. I don't even listen to music, but lyrics come to my mind, which is kind of funny. Uh, if you had to do it all over again, not that you would, because you know what, you've learned so much along the way, right? But if you had to do it all over again, you had to start over from scratch. Someone to drop you off in the state of Maine. I don't know. You had to build a new team and a new office and everything else. Nobody knew who you were. What's the first thing you would do?
I would just have a marketing plan. I would make content, I would promote it, and just I would do that first, and then look for staff
Yes.
to help grow our agency. But I think I say marketing before staff or even location maybe is
Yeah, yeah.
because you just need someone to talk to, and that's the first thing, um, the first step for anything. And I say, looking back at things, I will say some of the mistakes I made. Sometimes being consistent also means that you're not willing to change as much.
Yes.
So I think although people have said that, hey, you've adapted to the new world, I look back and sometimes wish I would have adapted a little bit sooner or spend more money on marketing sooner. So those are some of the things, like from what I've learned. I wish I would have, went from internet leads to social media a little bit faster, or you know, um, just spend more money on marketing when I knew it was working. Some of those things are things I look back on, and if I was starting all over, those are the things I would do a little bit sooner, or be a little bit more aggressive with.
Yes. Yes. 100%. Me too. Me too. Me too. As far as staff, what's something you look for when you're hiring staff? There's a lot of people that have agencies. They struggle to find good people. You've clearly found. I mean, how many staff members do you have?
I have 12.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking you had 12. They seem really impressive. What do you look for, and how do you find great staff?
Yeah, I just look for good attitude and good activity. I think them having confidence is important too.
Yes.
And then having someone who has a long-term view too. As agency owners, we always play the long game, but sometimes staffs, that's a little bit harder to expect that from them. But some people do have more of a long-term outlook in their careers. So
Yes.
I feel like that's important. And also, I try to look for people I like to just generally want to help, and I'd like working with, because a lot of times, I'm not sure how other agents do it, but for me, I haven't had that great of luck of finding people who are already licensed, ready to go. My strategy has always been, hey, you don't know anything about insurance. Just have to be a good person, hardworking person. Again, attitude and activity. As long as you have that, I feel like, hey, I'm gonna be patient with you. I'm gonna teach you from day one what everything is, and just build with that person long term. Because even though they may not be licensed, they'll start off with, so in the beginning, I feel like I'm really helping
Yes.
them. I'm paying them and I'm training them. And I feel like my training is pretty valuable. So,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
so I feel like if you don't genuinely like that person, you're not really going to go through the journey of paying them and training them at the same time. So I do feel like someone that you like as a person, you want to help, is a good fit. And I look for those type of attributes rather than skill or pedigree or resume, because I'm really in it for the long run, and I feel like if you help somebody from day one, there's a little bit of sense of loyalty that you may be lucky enough to get if you really help them with everything they know about insurance really came from that person.
For sure. Let's talk about activity for a second. We got a couple more minutes, real quick. I got two more questions. As far as activity, what's some of the activity metrics or some of the activity things that work well in your office that someone can learn from?
Cody, I don't really look at although I'm Asian, so people think I'm a real numbers guy.
Yeah.
I'm kind of more of a just just a feel guy. I'm in the middle of the cubicle, so this is my private office, but I have a desk, I have a cubicle out there with in the middle of everybody.
That's
So
awesome.
so and newer agents are sitting next to me, so I'm just literally this way, that way. I could train this person, I could train this person, and questions all over the place. So I just gauge activity level by how busy we are. And sometimes another thing that I'd like to do is like, hey, if we're not busy, then it's sometimes I'd like to take accountability and figure out, what am I not doing right? Am I
Mm,
not getting enough leads? Am I not giving them duties? So I just know what busy is, and I like being busy. So I like to be out there and just help people stay busy, because being busy, I feel, is a blessing.
yeah. Yeah. My dad always says you can work half a day. You got 24 hours. You choose which 12-hour period you work.
I love that. And your dad was in insurance, huh?
Yeah, he's been in it for
Yeah.
30 years this past April, and
Wow.
he's more on the life and Medicare side. But yeah, he's been doing it forever, man. He's and actually that leads me to my last question, which is, it's kind of funny you said that. I credit a lot of my success to my parents, and raising me the right way, making me show up when I don't want to show up, right? Teaching me how to have good manners, teaching me how to be on time to something and not be late. Who do you credit for your success?
Same thing. My parents.
It's awesome.
Um, well, my dad was an entrepreneur, and I actually, helped him out with his business too, the digital marketing side. But yeah, same thing, Cody. I mean, it's just like what you just said about, how your parents helped you is
Yeah,
the exact same thing how I feel about my parents. Um, but we're really blessed, and I feel like sometimes when I come across staff members or people that may not have had that luck, then I feel like it's maybe my obligation to like trying to provide that, you know, learning lessons, and hopefully I could, influence them in a positive way, the way my parents have influenced me.
exactly. I love it. For those that are like, dude, Dan Kitajima is a beast, and I love him. How can they find you?
Yeah, just my name, Dan Kitajima. Facebook, Instagram. Facebook's big with insurance agents, but I personally like Instagram, and then a YouTube channel where I
Yeah,
have interviews with top elite agents, I call it. So you'll be the next, well, not maybe not the next guest, but a future guest. All
yeah,
right, where I just love talking to other agents that are doing great things and really learn from each other. So those are some of the places, and yeah, always DM me or Facebook messaging me is something that I like to engage with, because man, there's just so much to learn,
yeah.
and that's what I'm a big believer in, that I have a lot more to learn, and we got a lot more to get done.
Boom, dude, you did an unbelievable job. Thank you so much for being on today.
No, thank you, Cody. Too bad you have to go, but we're gonna keep in touch, man. I really want to do some more things with you, and then yeah, get to know each other too.
Dude, for sure. Hey, for those watching, again, you're like, man, this has been good. I want you to be in the hot seat and be the next Dan Kitajima doing big things. Thanks for watching. Have a great shoot. Hey, if you enjoyed this, I got another one you're going to love. It's right there. Click on it. See you in there. Hey, so I want to transition now into working leads. I want to give you some specific training on how to work leads, and then I'm going to finish with some mindset pieces. Okay, I'm going to finish with some mindset pieces in a second. Okay, so